is.
5 rupees.
A blue rupee, that's not very nice. At least give him a big 20.
Well, would you look at that? The big 20. Now we see Btilcx here with the early advantage of having an extra rupee. Oh, not even! Hitsuyan also has an extra rupee. Wow, this is a close race.
So here's a good thing. Maybe my commentator's curse has already started. Let's get. I don't know. I don't want Uncle to give him anything nice either. I think Uncle should give him a map.
Well, that's not a lot better.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they should give him anything nice because Uncle hardly ever gives anything nice.
Except when he has a Moon Pearl. But oh wow.
He has his vanilla, half of his vanilla, Fisher Price shield.
And we have the big key to Dark Battles here right in the chest. And whoa, an Ether in the Sanctuary. That's not bad at all. Of course, we won't know if Ether is actually useful for a little while here. Because, you know, checking up Turtle Rock and Mire, that's still a long ways ahead. Now, so far, these guys have been pretty much having the same exact route. So, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, so it's not much to keep track of as far as different routing. I'm sure they'll separate here shortly. Keysanity always has that bridging. Chat's already calling for the pedestal seed. Come on, chat. Too early for calling a pedestal seed. And Crab just has hearts, so that's not very useful. Lumberjack was green rupee. They may not want to go back for that one.
The woods holds only a blue cane and a map down here, and map of Ice Palace. Now, the map in Keysanity is a bit more useful than the usual map. You get to see what's in the dungeon as your final reward, either a crystal or a pendant, so that's pretty nice.
Alright, so it looks like we got Btilcx doing the Houlihan room setup.
Yeah, I like this setup pretty much. It's quite easy to do, and you know, the extra rupees are hardly ever a bad idea.
Yeah, I've started to do this at the beginning of my Keysanity runs. I like the ability to guarantee yourself the money now. Bomb the well wall. Did Hitsuyan just forget he doesn't have bombs yet?
Yeah.
And now he's going back in.
A bit unlucky. Probably to find a bit more rupees, he'll need another go around if he wants to actually buy those bombs.
I've never seen anyone actually do it that way. I really do like Btilcx's pathing though. I like going South Hyrule now. Try to get some of the free bombs. Usually make 1 to 2 passes. And then, Power Glove race game.
Well, at least you know there's something good there early on.
Alright, chat. So since we didn't start with this, I'll go ahead and put it out there. If you're new to Keysanity, new to the game, takes every item, including all the boss keys, small keys, maps, and compasses that are in the dungeons, shuffles them up, and distributes them out in the whirlpool in a beatable order. So you cannot have an order that will not beat the game. There's a logic behind it. Sometimes it'll get confusing. We can get into that later. Now, as far as the item pool goes, the maps are only used to know what's a pendant in a crystal. That's what. And the music in the dungeons are all the same, so you cannot tell what's Dark World, what's Light World. The compasses, the only use they have is they tell you what the item counts in the dungeon are, what you've collected, and what the total items are. Now, for most of our runners, that is not a useful item. So you'll probably see them avoid compasses if they can.
Indeed. Early on, the maps will be picked up just for raw information it could use to do some better routing, but never compasses. They should be good enough to actually skip it. But hey, you never know. Maybe you need a little bit more guidance and number of chests in a dungeon. No shame in that.
Definitely not. And yeah, you should see them go out of their way even to pick up most maps until they have full map knowledge.
Also, wall chicken.
Into a compass. Alright, so we got pod small key. Oh, master sword already. Was that master sword or plastic sword?
Both, one after the other.
That's what I thought. I was like, that was blue, wasn't it? I didn't even see first sword. It was so quick. Not just early sword. Double early sword.
Well,
Now,
next one.
no,
Go ahead.
Go right ahead, Dynasty.
I was about to say that it's a big change from the last race I commentated, where the first sword came in at 50 minutes in. So yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, and that's actually common in Keysanity because swords aren't required by logic until later. You don't need a sword for certain dungeons. You don't need the only dungeons you need a sword for is Aga 1 and Skullwoods. I think most of the other bosses can be done swordless.
Yeah, that's about right. You can go through them just fine without it.
So most of the time when you're playing an open or a standard, those two early swords will be pointing you at Aga 1. Especially when Lamp was in sword requirement and the Lamp requirement. They also had to find 2 castle tower keys. So Aga 1 will not be required until they find all the requirements, including the keys.
Yep, most likely than not, though, you can see them just going up the tower if they only have one key to pick up both chests there. More often than not, I've seen just being very trolly items in there, such as the bow.
Yeah, and at this point we already know that the lumberjack item's not needed. So it's really just going to depend if they need... If they don't find the second mint plus moon pearl, or the hammer plus moon pearl in any available location, we might see a play at Aga. If they find the key requirements. But I mean, they've already opened up a lot of the maps, so they can get up to Light World, Death Mountain. They can't progress far into it, but Rock. They're gonna have Eastern and South Shore. It's interesting that they're both deciding to do like Escape and go back through Escape super fast.
Yeah, despite having a different routing through it.
And there's a small key to Castle Tower in the sewer. Oh, we didn't even see that. It looks like we have found Kane. Both Canes, in fact.
Yeah, I believe Blue Cane was in the woods while Red Cane was somewhere in Kakariko. Forgot which one it was.
Well, Btilcx did not get it. Oh, Bottle Merchant was Red Cane, okay.
That makes sense. There's a difference in rupees.
Well, Btilcx has more rupees though, and didn't check Bottle Merchant. You see, he's gonna make the play right into Castle Tower with the 1 key, just to get the 2 chests.
Not a bad idea. Just get out of the way.
Only way this ends up being bad is if AGA 1's the actual Dark World requirement.
Yeah.
Then what he's doing right now is just a time loss. And there's a small key to Hera.
So for now, it's not a time loss, because we don't know if the basement of Hera might hold something important.
They can't get to the basement of Hera yet. They still need Mirror.
Yep, that's
Or
right.
they need Hook, Shot, and Hammer.
So it doesn't help for now, but we'll know later.
Okay, I think chat's saying Btilcx has Red Cane. It's just not updated yet. Yeah, it never hurts to have the Hera small key early. That's what chat's saying, and I agree. Because a lot of times you feel really bad if you go complete a small key afterwards. It's always in the back of your mind what that could be. And yeah, sometimes it's crucial, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it's a bit the same way with the Swamp Palace Big Key.
Yeah, Ice Palace Big Key, Skullwoods Big Key. There's a lot of items. The Thieves Town Small Key is the same. We got a burrito to Ganon's Tower, the most useless burrito in the game. That one in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's about equal with this one.
But they're still very bad burritos to find. They don't give you any useful information. I'm actually super surprised that these 2 runners are literally on each other's toes. Neither one of them has tried to differentiate. No South. I think Hit's about to start going towards either South Shore or Eastern. And then once Btilcx gets this chest, I think he's going to be on the footsteps. Oh no, he is. So Btilcx may be a couple seconds ahead.
Yeah, right now it's pretty just we can't really tell who's in advance or not, just because a few seconds at this time of the seed means really nothing. It all depends on how they're going to progress from now, just to find a few more items to progress.
And chat's letting us know that one of us is cutting out for them a little bit. Chat, if you keep noticing it, just let us know. It's me. Okay. Let me restart my Discord real quick, and we'll see if that fixes it.
Ooh, and the small key was flooded right here. Castle Tower. Well, probably not going to be useful.
Oh wait, they found a second small key to Castle Tower?
Yep.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm here trying to be nice and saying it's not going to be useful, but you never know. If that's the way to the Dark World, well, there it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's full AGA 1 access, and that's in the back of their mind already. It's one of those moments that's, oh crap. I mean, it's literally like, what else? Well, Mushroom. That's something that can lead them down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how the seed is going, just because they have the Master Sword, they have a lamp, and they have both keys to Castle Tower. So technically, they have everything they need to complete it, which is a bit of a bother.
I would assume that they're still gonna put it off and check what they can. I mean, I would at the very least go up mountain just to get turn in Old Man, check bottom of Spectacle Rock. They still have all of the eastern and Sahasrara to check, so it's not like they're out of options yet.
I agree with you. It's definitely not a really good option at the moment, but the city is kind of breadcrumbing towards that, I think.
I think it is as well, but they also have Mushroom too, and fetch quests early on. I tend to like to turn in because when the game gives you a fetch quest early on, generally. So to answer Daffert in chat, no, it's not. So the reason the maps are so useful is all the music's the same. Pendant or crystal. Other than the two clues, like what Btilcx probably about to do. Btilcx about to find out what the green pendant is from Sahasrara. And it is Skull Woods.
That's some especially good information when you're playing Keysanity, just because you don't really know what the dungeons are without talking to these proper NPCs most of the time, and without the map, you can't really know for sure too.
And I never got around to it. I think somebody asked about sprites earlier. So on the right, of course, we got Mega Man, which is a new sprite from V28. And I'll let chat mull that one over.
Indeed. My co-commentator did ask me before the race what I thought it was, and I did not find out at all.
See, I agree with Elaine. I believe it's more like Sloth. I think it should be Sloth Link. But whatever it looks like, if you go into the actual randomizer and you go to the character selector, that is listed as Penguin Link. We did miss what the first chest in Eastern was, but we'll get to see it on the Hitsuyan screen. As it looks like Btilcx's stream is catching up a little bit. There is a Mario sprite. There's actually a Mario and a Luigi sprite now.
Indeed. The Luigi sprite is amazing, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is. I think it's okay. He got blue mail out of one of the first two chests, and a small key to desert. So he got blue mail out of the second chest. There's actually a ton of sprites. If you're ever interested in just that, you can go look at the randomizer, try to randomize it. There's a little cog for the ROM settings, and you can look through the sprite listing. It's actually an extensive list now.
Yeah, there's a really, really good, a lot of sprites to choose from for all tastes.
And they always add more, so whenever V29 comes out, I'm sure there'll be more. I've already seen some of them being tested. Actually, there is a blind sprite. Blue mark. I don't see it used a lot, but there is a maiden sprite.
And we got a cape here, just in the final chest they can check inside Eastern. Not a bad item.
Yeah, while chat's drawing out their choices of sprites, mine's generally Mog or Will from Illusion of Gaia.
Yeah, that will sprite is pretty nice. Very well detailed.
Yes, it is. I just wish they could. I wish they could replace the sword model on his character only with a flute.
Yeah, I agree.
Give it that true additional last piece of flavor. So it doesn't look like there's anything amazing other than blue melt inside of. He does have the option of going to Zora too, because Zora is technically in the logic.
Yep, that's right. And by doing the mushroom at the same time as going over there, it's kind of a good routing, I think.
Okay, so they did get Cape out of Eastern too. If that didn't just solidify, hey, Poke, go to Aghanim. The somebody was saying the Will Sprite doesn't look so fat, but the Will Sprite actually looks almost dead on with his illusion of God. I mean, I guess both being Super Nintendo characters, it's fairly easy to just model the sprite over.
And now both runners are already inside the dark cave rescuing the old man. It's really neck and neck so far. I really like this. Makes me
Yeah, I
happy.
know. Makes it easy on us. We don't have to keep track of two different things.
Yeah, it does. But it does make for a more interesting race in the aspect that since they're so close from another, it's like as soon as they diverge direction, one of them is going to be behind, and the other is going to be in advance.
That is true. One of them's probably going to gain an advantage as soon as the route diverges. But we'll have to see when that is, because as of right now, they were literally. And a big key, they're definitely going to drop down and go get that.
Oh yeah, never skip out on a big key. Of course, there's another big key trolling on top of Spectacle Rock, but it's still a bit inaccessible for now. Need the mirror to get that one. Oh, and it's the Thieves Town big key up there. That's a nice big key to find out. That opens up Thieves Town a lot. Of course, they can't access Thieves Town yet, but it'll come soon enough as soon as they find the Moon Pearl. Where do you
Yeah,
think it is?
I think at this point it's leaning towards Pyramid.
Yeah, Pyramid or Zora, one or the other. I mean, maybe it's one of those seeds where Zora has something useful for once. That's right. There's also Agina's cave in the desert. That could also be a thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're not too far off of that being their only option. I mean, we're seeing fake flippers, and that's a sequence break. So I mean, anything you find, and if he finds the hammer, or the mitts, or the moon pearl. Big key off a hobo.
Yeah, it's the big key for Desert Palace. That's one they actually need, so that's a good sequence break from his part.
Oh yeah, that gives them the big key and the small key. So unless boots are required, that's a full clear of desert already. They just need a way in. They need book, or they need flute plus titans plus mirror. In chat, let me know if the cutting out continues. I'm trying a couple things to try to help it.
Let's go, Zora. Give the Moon Pearl and not like a piece of heart or something.
I mean, it's gonna give life lessons, you know that. And that's a life lesson.
Yeah, that's a life lesson. I mean, it's one of the least crappy ones of the life lessons, but hey, still one. Now, does it leave only Agena and Tower? Because I don't see anything else.
Well, they can't get to Tower of Hera. They can't get to... Yeah, I mean, Agena's Cave is the last thing, and that does not give them 2 items. So Agena 1 is Aghanim 1 is 4 Dark World access. I mean, they already have Mushroom into nothing. Why would you want Shovel into nothing as well? That's just cruel.
Yeah, you want at least one of those side quest items to prove to be kind of useful.
So now, again, they're both going the same exact path, no divergence whatsoever. Hitsuyan's probably got like a 20... He's, what, 2 rooms ahead?
I'd say maybe a bit more, just because he did go inside the tower before, so doesn't have to open the chests.
Oh, okay, Btil. I thought Btil had been in the tower. Btil has been in the tower.
Hitsuyan just skipped the chest then.
Unless they both have been in the tower.
If they did, I missed one of them, so my bad on that one.
Well, I know Btil did because he set up a death warp right at the end of it. Inside the dark maze.
Yeah, that I remember.
Yeah, like we said, they've both been stepping on each other's toes. They did escape and Castle Tower in a different order, but they both did it all. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's only got 1 heart. Btil's not in much better shape, though.
And the hard rooms are coming up with these red guards.
Oh no! He needs to make it to the next room. Okay, come on, get a heart and pick up real quick.
There we go. Can finally get off the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I knew there was at least 2 heart pickups in that room. He got both of them, so should make him a little more comfortable. Yeah, the seeds give them a lot of safety. Alright, chat, how many blue balls we getting today? Dan wants 8. That's a cruel number. 3 and 5 sound pretty good. It's okay, we'll be able to tell on Hitsuyan side how many. Because I did miss a couple of the throws that Btil did. So there's 1.
Ooh, they still need to be careful on this fight. They don't have a lot of health.
So it was only one in the first phase. See how many second cycles. This one's guaranteed to be a regular.
That's a nice bunny sprite on the Mega Man side.
Dude, a lot of the bunny sprites are almost as good or better than the regular sprites. And I wish they'd port some of them. Like the Mog, the FF6 Mog sprite for Bunny is ooh, so that's interesting. So that means yes that Aghanim 1 cave, that means it has to be Moon Pearl. And you see both of them just running over there because they both know it too. It could be Mirror. That would give them access to Tower of Hair and the basement. 3 more items.
Yeah, or Hookshot. That could also help them out on Death Mountain.
Yeah, there's a lot of the sprites that are great. If I'm still cutting off, I apologize. There's not much more I can do at this point. And there's Moon Pearl.
Dang, Agina the troll. It's one of those locations you really don't want it to have anything good just because it's so out of the way until you have like the flute or something like that to go there faster, but hey, at least both runners did pretty much the exact same thing, so both of them got trolled really hard by this Moon Pearl, so it's not that bad. Now we'll see from now on here what side do they choose to explore. I guess they're going to the right side here of Dark World just because that's all they have access to without the flippers or the hookshot, so or the Titans, of course. Ooh, now we see a bit more divergence. Ooh, what would Catfish have today? A big 20? Yeah, a big 20 probably. I mean, that's what Catfish has, right? Always trolley items.
He has hookshot. Not trolly enough for you today.
That's right, I was mind gaming the Catfish. I won. Yeah, I like the sound of that hookfish. And meanwhile, we got Hitsuyan going into Palace of Darkness here, and that's not a bad play per se. I mean, Pod is one of those dungeons where you know you have to go through it multiple times anyway. So might as well get it out of the way right now since he does have a small key.
I don't like it though. 1 small key and then no bow, no hammer. I don't like going into pod.
Yeah, I really understand that point of view. I mean, especially like you said, without the bow and the hammer, you're really limited in options in here.
Yeah, he's about to waste his first key because if you have bow and hammer, you can skip this door, and he's only gonna open 2 more chests. So here's what we were talking about. We had a route divergence, and now Btilcx has the advantage.
Oh yeah, really, since he just picked up the Titans inside of Death Mountain here.
So hookshot straight into Death Mountain. Now he gets to finish Death Mountain on the light side, go down, go into the Death Mountain, This play is just working out well, and there was nothing inside of pod.
Yep, it's part of the gamble. Sometimes you go one way and your opponent goes the other, and suddenly you're a few minutes behind just for one tiny place you wanted to check first. But at least for now, there's not a ton of places Hitsuyan can check with the
No,
equipment he has.
He has to go to Catfish now. So the only two options they had in Dark World, because no hammer, no hook shot, no flippers, were pod. Had to have something. But I think I would have went with Btilcx. I think I would have checked Catfish first. Alright, so Thieves Town is a red pendant, and it looked, was that ice was a crystal?
Yep, it was Crystal 6 too. So one of the more valuable crystals.
So here's the fun part. Once we find out what the last pendant is, we'll know all crystals. We won't necessarily know the other 5, 6. Yeah, see, in Hippo, our tracker is even agreeing with me. He doesn't like the one pod key play either. And if you don't follow Hippo, Hippo is a very good runner at this game. And see, here's another route divergence. So Hitsuyan grabbed the hook shot, and instead of going Light World Death Mountain with it, he's gonna go which could give him something, but I mean, more than likely isn't gonna give him enough to catch up to what Btilcx.
Yeah, he seems to be going every right place for a few minutes now, so he has a definite advantage.
And chat, you'll hear us use that a lot. We don't usually talk in leads until towards the end. We talk in advantages. Reason being, shot cave. So even if Btilcx looks like he has a lead right now, here 30 minutes from now, he could be the one behind.
Yep, because execution still plays a lot in these randomizer seeds, so we'll never know how much these guys, their gambles pay off until they're finally really at the end of the seed in Gan's Tower.
Alright, so bumper ledge is not an item they need, so they will not be going up there. Was a good check though, because he does have hookshot and cape already.
Btilcx will finally activate his flute that he picked up, and we'll be able to go pretty much everywhere he wants.
So flute was what, Dark Death Mountain?
I believe so.
Because I didn't see Super Bunny Cape, so I'm guessing it was Super Bunny. I'm guessing either Super Bunny or I didn't see Spiral Cave. What did I just miss on Hitsuyan screen?
Just some money.
Okay. Alright, chat saying flute was with the Myths and Paradox Cave. So, Light World Death Mountain was just completely loaded. And see, now Btilcx is going to make this play where he gets to full clear Skull if he wants, even though he knows Skull is only a green pendant.
I mean, for Green Pendant, it's not a bad play.
It's also not a long dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, I guess let's be real, it's not Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it's not Swamp Palace and it's not Turtle Rock. That's for sure.
So I'm curious where the logic. So the logic obviously wanted them to follow Btil. Wanted them to go up to Light World Death Mountain, which gives Titan's Mints. And then from there, a lot of the world just opens up. So with Fire Rod and Titan's Mints, he's got Ice Palace access. He can full. No, he can't beat it. Oh, mirrors in the big chest of Skullwoods.
Wow, that's not even the first time I see a deer in this tournament.
And no, you won't. You won't see it. You'll see it multiple times in the same location throughout the tournament, just because.
Oh, and by the way, we just found the hammer inside of Thieves Town for Hitsuyan. That's a pretty good find.
Yeah, but here's the issue with that. I think Btil will be going to Thieves Town as soon as he's done checking what he wants in Skullwoods, which might be right now.
Yeah, that's true. But still, it's gonna. It might help him to explore a bit more, but it's true that since fighting the hammer, it might push him in the wrong direction and trying to check other locations that the hammer blocks instead of going up Death Mountain.
I think he'll still go up Death Mountain. Now, the only thing the hammer is going to be good for going up Death Mountain, especially if he decides to go check Skullwoods. They go over to Hera and get the 3 chests that are currently available there.
Yep, that's right. So if there's something useful in the Hera while he goes up Death Mountain to explore it, all of it, he might actually have a small advantage after that.
Possibly, because it could be that until Hera Big Key shows up, or until Turtle Rock is beatable. Because if he's like a lot of players will put off the two dungeons on the mountain until last if they. Just because of how smoothly it transitions into GT.
Yeah, I understand that, but just because I remember there's a big key on top of Spectacle Rock, it's one of those things that would weigh heavily on my mind.
That's true, but we'll have to see what key he needs. So, like, they found the big key to Misery Mire, right? What big keys are left? So GT big. They got Thieves Town big key. Never mind. At least Hitsuyan does. It actually is showing that Btil does not have Thieves Town big key. I didn't get a real good check because he switched so fast. And blind with the puns.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say blind is the pun master for those who don't know. And what were you going to say about what Hitsuyan's doing?
Well, I was saying he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, but that's only red pendant. So what's interesting is 2 of the pendant dungeons are already clearable. We know Thieves Town is clearable, and we know that oh, you're good, Hippo. I was just going to check to see if he had it, because there is the chance that it was in pod. And it was one of the 3 chests in pod that Hitsuyan. because I'm already blanking on some of the locations where they found some of these items. Yeah, Skullwoods is green, but we don't know what Blue Pendant is yet. So that's kind of interesting. I'm curious if all three a pedestal required scene is if all three pendants are able to be done fairly quickly. And as of right now, we're 2 for 3 on being able to be done very quickly. We don't know what the third one is yet.
Yeah, it may take a while till we know what all the dungeons are exactly, but right now it's not very important just because they're missing so many keys just to finish the seed that they're just exploring and seeing what their options are. But give it another maybe 30 minutes and we'll have a clearer picture of what's left to do to actually finish this pretty fast. Yeah, it's true that they could go for the moth right now. They have everything needed. At least Btilcx does. Until Hitsuyan picks up his fire rod, he will need to get out of here. Now that's the problem with Hitsuyan's route is until he goes to Death Mountain, he will be a bit behind on everything just because it makes it faster to travel around with the Titans from Light World to Dark World because of the portal access. Of course, now that he does have the hammer, it's gonna help him a bit to go on the other ones, but he really needs to go there to find that. It's big progression items, the Titans. Now, it does seem like Btilcx did just find a tempered sword inside of Hype Cave, and I completely missed it while he got it, so I'm sorry for the anti-hype guys. But it's not progression, it's just another sword, so beh. It's an okay cave, I guess. There's better. Now, small key to Turtle Rock. That's a good find. Turtle Rock, whether it's a pendant or not, is still useful. Oh, and we got the book here inside the Meyer shed. That's a nice find. A nice place for it. Gives access right away to both of the. I was about to say rocks. The the tablets. Words so complicated. It does also give access to check the pedestal if that's actually required. Ooh, and Eastern is your final crystal, the one of the 5-6 crystals. So we know now that the bow is held in big regard to know if that's. It's gonna be early on. That's a good thing. It looks like Btilcx is going for the land mows here in desert. That's a good play, considering they have a crystal. You will be able to mostly clear out the dungeon afterwards. And there he goes. Already has a crystal on his side. Now that's I think that's the first crystal these guys, both of them, get. Well, it is Btilcx. Now he'll be able to freely explore what's in desert, with the exception of what's on the lamp. He still needs the boots for that. Now keep in mind, guys, that while we're going through these places, that both Btilcx and Hitsuyan are giving a great show here for you guys. So give them a follow if you like what you're seeing. And of course, let's not forget Hippo, who's doing a wonderful job tracking. And I believe it is Mythical today that's providing the restream for you. So good on him. And of course, me and my co-commentator, IB Karma, is pretty awesome guy. First time I'm talking to him today, and I really like his style of commentating. Pretty cool. And back to the race. It seems Btilcx already found a fire shield inside here of Desert Palace. Still needs to do blind, so we could see some uses, but usually shields are not that useful.
Alright, what have I missed?
You missed Btilcx going into Landmo with a pretty perfect fight using the fire rod, and that's about it.
Oh, the big key for Swamp.
Yeah, that's a nice find. A small key for Swamp would be a bit more useful though.
Yeah, also we get to see what the big key up on top of the Spectral Rock was, and it's Eastern.
That's a good one. That's a good find.
Well, it's
Like
good when they find the bow. Oh, is he not? He's not going to dip in. Okay, he's going back. I was like, he's got to dip into Hera, right?
Yeah, at least go check what's in the basement, or rather the first chest here. He can do the basement too, because he does have the small key, I believe.
That's the big key for T-Rock. I was hoping it would be the big key for Hera.
That'd be somewhat amazing.
Actually, I've seen it appear in the basement chest a couple times.
I mean, I've seen some small keys in their proper dungeon, but never a big key so far.
The Ganon's Tower big key has a pretty good chance of being inside Ganon's Tower.
Oh,
and the this key to me actually has a pretty good reason. I don't know what the actual percentages are, but I've seen probably like 3 or 4 races with it.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen the one in Ganon's Tower a few times be there. And by a few times, I mean most of my commentary, what I did was big key in Ganon's Tower, which is kind of trolly, but hey, when your seed is 2 hours and a half long and it's not because of the runners, but because the seed is so bad, I can understand why it's there.
So Bombo's tablet has nothing. Just a piece of heart. Or as chat likes to say, Pizza Heart. Nothing out of Hera.
Yep, just some money.
Just the T-Rock big key is the only pull away. Now, what's interesting, he can make the decision. Well, he's got dead rocked. But he can make the decision to see if ether is required for T-Rock. That dead rock.
I'm sorry, that dead rock is just the best.
Oh, I thought he blocked himself with it again. Somebody should have clipped that one, because that was that dude just running back and forth right in the entrance, just ultra denial.
Dancing the salsa on the bridge. Anyways, it looks like Btilcx is doing hammer pegs here in Kakariko Village.
Yeah, so Btilcx has more overworld exploration than Hitsuyan just because of routing. So to me, again, Btilcx has And decides to dip T-Rock right now, if he can, if Ether is the medallion requirement, it could get interesting. He can get all the way up to the door before Laser Bridge right now. Oh, if he steals the one key, he can get through Laser Bridge.
Yeah. He still needs one more if he wants to check everything in Turtle Rock.
Is Turtle Rock confirmed? We have Bombos from Meyer, but nothing on T-Rock.
I think T-Rock was Ether when Btilcx went up Death Mountain.
So let's see what the breadsmiths are today. What kind of smiths are they really? They're keysmiths.
Hey, speaking of small keys for Turtle Rock, here's another one.
Yeah, so that makes Turtle Rock full clearable if you skip the vanilla big key location, but that's still out of sequence technically.
Yeah, and I believe if they do it at this time, it could be a huge mistake just because they're missing so many items that you don't want to risk it right at this moment.
I don't think I mind Hitsuyan dipping in while he's up here though if he can. He's got a 66% chance to open it up. He can get inside of it. He's going to find, as long as he goes hook shot first, he's going to have fire rod. If he skips the first chest, that one chest, he can get like 10, 12 items out of T-Rock, including Mimic Cave. It might, no, it's 10. It's 10 with the one in the roller room prior to the dark room. Well, it doesn't matter because there's the fourth key to Turtle Rock.
Now, it's always fun when you find all the keys before you go there. It just makes it easier, so you just have to go it through normally without skipping anything.
Oh, did Btilcx have the chest and lose it?
Yeah, I think he did. It's unfortunate. Chess didn't want to have a world tour today. Decided to cancel.
I'm trying to think of what breadcrumbs. I mean, obviously the seed is definitely going to be pointing towards T-Rock, but they still don't have Ice Rod either.
Yeah, this. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. What do you think they should do?
I think if they're not that bad with it, they could attempt a early Ice Palace with fake flippers. That's one of the things I like to see in these races.
The only reason I don't like that is because a lot of the items you're looking for will probably not be in Ice Palace because you need flippers.
Yeah, that's true. I understand that, but it's still a crystal dungeon, and you can technically do it.
Yeah.
So might as well get it out of the way.
But logically, what does the seed want you to do?
Yeah, logically, I would say, you need the flippers at this point. So possibly Meyer, once you do find Bombos, or the early chest here inside Turtle Rock. So Hitsuyan is pretty much doing what I would do right now.
Yeah, I wish he had one more key. Given that we know that both the other T-Rock keys are fairly easily accessible. But to be fair, if Btilcx dips it as well, he's going to be a key short from full completion as well. He's going Spike Cave. I don't think Spike Cave's in the logic.
He does have the cape and the cane, so he has.
Don't you have to have half magic or a bottle?
I don't think so. I may be wrong on this one. Don't quote me.
It is a big key to Tower of Hera, though.
Wow, that's pretty close to Tower of Hera.
That
Somebody
is
just lost it.
That is a really, really, really good find. He's
Yeah.
gonna one-shot Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's a great thing.
So
Hitsuyan needs to be careful about these rollers. He's not on the red armor, contrary to Btilcx. So, oh, and there's their ice rod and the flippers. Wow,
early T-Rock.
all of the value.
Gosh, he really right now he wishes he had one more key, so he could go ahead and knock this out and not have to think about it again. Now the issue is that now that we know Tower of Hera big key where that's at, finishing Tower of Hera or T-Rock, he might not come back up here for a while, and he's gonna be looking for that Tower of Hera key for a while. Alright, so now I think that logically, Ice Palace is probably the correct next play. And Silvers. Hey, did you see what Btilcx just picked up, Dynasty?
I missed that actually. I was looking at Hitsuyan.
The Ether Tablet is the small key to Swamp.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, oh. Everything that Hitsuyan needs is on the top of the mountain.
Yeah. So that's oh boy.
Well, it does look like he's going over and he will get his Tower of Hera big key.
Yeah, at least there's that. So he's still in the right area to get all those things. So right now it's a bit early to call panic, but yeah, it's still yeah.
It's unfortunate that that small key is right there and he does not have book yet.
That's a good question, Scooby D. Swamp or ice first?
I would probably do ice just because it's shorter for a full completion.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you do find everything you need in ice, you might be able to skip full clearing swamp. So that's a plus.
There is absolutely no way that they'll find everything in ice, though. I'm pretty sure they're still missing bow. They're missing bomb. What are they missing? Actually, that's it. Holy crap! They're actually not that far from go mode. I didn't realize we're only what 3 items away.
Yeah, and a few keys, give or take.
Yeah, just a couple small keys actually. The technically we're 1 T-Rock small key away. I'm trying to think if there's any more keys we need. Because Pod's a pendant, so I don't think so actually. I think at most maybe the Tower of Hera 1 small key. There's the bow.
Nice.
Yeah, GT big key is the big one. That's the one that can be anywhere. That's the one that's gonna be an issue. Now, if Btilcx finds, let's say Troll Dorm, this is just gonna be an insanely fast Keysanity seed.
Yeah, that would be one of the fastest I've seen.
Because Bombos will have to either be an ice swamp or the last part of T-Rock.
Yeah.
Or I guess Fat Fairy too. Yeah, we're 2 items away from no mode already, and it is saying that we're 2 items away on Btilcx from being in go. Well, to T-Rock and get the flippers and the ice rod. Alright, so Hitsuyan's picking up his literacy. Bombos on Helmasaur or Bombos on Ped would be the worst case scenario for these runners at this moment, with how good this seed's being. That's pretty bad too, Scooby. Oh, Bombos can be on Ped. So can the GT Big Key. So both items left can be on Pedestal.
You know, I was thinking of something, and I'm almost scared to say it, but I'm gonna say it just to make sure that people know. Maybe they still need the boots too.
That is true. GT Big Key could spawn on the GT Tower Torch.
Exactly. That'd be the meanest thing ever. Going there and finding out that you need the boots, but yeah.
I don't know how much Keysanity you played, but the meanest thing I've seen in Keysanity was something similar to this. Pod was a until you went to GT without the Big Key. You found the Pod Big Key, had to go back to Pod, and the GT Big Key was in the Pod Big Key chest.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So
that's
it was
pretty
a required Guinness Tower double dip. Those things are logical in Keysanity.
Oh yeah, double dipping any dungeon in Keysanity is quite normal, and you shouldn't be alarmed compared to open or standard.
Now, when you get to triple dipping and quad dipping, there's probably something you could have done to minimize that, but a lot of dungeons.
Yeah, I think maybe pod triple dipping sometimes happen by logic, but I agree with you for most of it.
Let's see, even pod with if you know, like most of our runners, I won't say all, but the vast majority of them know most of the skips in pod. You can full clear pod with 4 keys instead of the full 6. Now, the good thing for Btilcx is if Btilcx skips the vanilla big key chest, Btilcx is going to full clear T-Rock on the first attempt.
Indeed, that's going to be nice for him. Having this this crystal down means he'll have another small advantage over his opponent. Not that he needs it right now, but you know, you're never too sure of yourself.
Alright, so triple bombs inside of the first chest of ice.
And that's a good point, chat. We haven't seen a bottle yet. That's a bit unusual, seeing how far this seed has progressed.
We haven't seen bottle, we haven't seen powder, so 2 of the bigger safety items we haven't seen. No shovel yet. And we still have only ever found 1 pod small key, which is really unusual. Yep, he is going to skip vanilla big key chest, and he's going to go full clear T-Rock. If you are for Hitsuyan coming back and doing well in this race, that chest right there needs to have something.
There we see Hitsuyan trying his hand at the bomb jump, and I believe he has it. Oh, he was off by a pixel, I think.
Yeah, your sword should be a pixel below the shadow of the bomb. You should see a small gap in between your sword and the bomb.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to see sometimes if you're exactly a pixel.
And he's just walking back too fast. There's that. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, Meow, the Ice Palace bomb jump's probably the best one to learn. It's not too hard. You just you stand against the wall from the door. He did. Drop your bomb, and then you move down until the gap between your sword and the bomb shadow, you'll see a piece of the floor.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most one of the skips that gives off the most reward from learning.
Yeah, if your sword's touching the shadow, you're not going to make the platform. And if you're too far down, the blocks, the raised lower blocks from the switch. So that's how you can tell if you need to adjust up and down.
And what Scooby D just linked is a great image to base yourself on. Nice find.
Oh yeah, there's our community has, if you want to learn something, just ask. They'll be happy to link you stuff, link you tutorial videos. The more you can learn, the better you'll get.
And the last key for Turtle Rock is an Ice Palace.
So the only key that Hitsuyan's missing for Turtle Rock is he got the graveyard ledge. So which one's he missing? Oh, boots on Laser Bridge. And the shovel. And the bottle. Okay, Laser Bridge, come on now. And a piece of heart.
Well, that was a very loaded laser bridge.
Yeah, chat. I'm trying. I've tried everything. I've reset my mic. Everything. We'll just have to work with the cutout today. It's got. I apologize if I cut out on you. This is still a fairly. I mean, Btilcx is still heavily advantaged right now. I would say. I would be happy to say he has a lead, but like we said, given that we're still missing two. But with him having boots, it'll be a lot harder.
Yeah, he's just doing really good right now. He took some really good gambles and it paid off. So right now we're definitely looking at a sub 2 Keysanity seed, which is great, just because I've been commentating so many long Keysanity seed that it gives off a break a bit.
Alright, so I'm going to try something a little different, Dynasty. Just because chat, with the whole voice cutting out thing, I'm trying just voice activation. We'll see if it works a little better.
It's all good.
So far, I haven't seen anything good in Ice Palace, though.
Yeah, except that small key that's going to be useful for Hitsuyan. He's having a bit of trouble here dancing around that Freezor. I understand why he'd want to turn around. I mean, this low heart going into Cold Stare fight, yeah. Better just go into one of the pots here and eat up a few fairies.
Yeah, nobody likes doing low percentage Cold Stare anyways.
Alright, that's a good point. He needs more magic still too, which is another problem.
We know he has no green potions. I don't think he realizes it. Oh, he does.
Yeah. He's hoping for a magic drop from these nerds.
Oh, there's one. He needs more, though. He has to have a full magic bar. Oh, he doesn't have enough still. There's not one behind there.
Yeah, Cold Stare has a bit of a requirement that you need either to cast bombos on his ice shell or a full magic bar of Fire Rod to break it off. Unless you have half magic where it's only half. It's much easier to do that. And there we go. He has it.
Nice.
That's right. You can use a trick to use sword beams to do it without full magic. It's a very nice trick. I haven't learned it yet, but it seems very useful to do it. But you do need to be full HP for that to work, and of course have the Master Sword.
Yeah, I haven't seen that trick either. Temper Sword Cold Stare, though, is not that bad.
Yeah, but since he is only on Blue Mail, he needs to be careful of being squished by those clouds. They do a lot of damage.
Yeah, as you say that, he's already at 2.5 hearts. I think he's... Yep, one hit away. There it is. He got hugged one too many times. Poor Hitsuyan. He's probably going to wait until he finds a pot or something to come back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but getting a death at a boss like that is a bit tilting. He's probably just trying to find something else for now. Maybe a few more safety items, such as a couple of bottles, would be pretty useful.
In chat, just as a question, have you guys noticed a difference since switched off the push to talk? Has it still been cutting out?
I did not hear you cut out, so I think that's a progress.
Were you hearing me cut out before?
A tiny bit, but not
Okay.
much.
I was curious if it was actually on my end or on the restream end. Okay, thank you, chat. I appreciate your guys' feedback and your guys' help in solving the issue. It must just be a little bit of technical difficulty between my mouse and the push-to-talk function on Discord.
Now we see Hitsuyan going back inside of Tower of Hera here. We'll soon find his bow inside of the big chest. So that's going to be great for him. It's going to give him a few more options to places to go with that.
I'm actually surprised they haven't went and finished off Eastern yet, and I'm surprised that Btilcx decided to do Swamp first, considering Ice is a 5/6. So you can go do Ice and Eastern fairly quickly, and already have your 5/6 crystals.
Yeah, for ice I can understand, but I think for Eastern, it's probably just trying to find everything else before he has to go over there. Just because if he hasn't found every item before he's done with these dungeons, he's probably gonna dip into Palace of Darkness again just to see if Bambo's not maybe in there.
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done Pod at all yet. I don't think he's even dipped it yet. Because he went straight to Catfish, remember?
Yeah, that's right. It was Hitsuyan who did Palace of Darkness.
And there's a small... Oh, the small key to Thieves Town. Now that is a troll. It's not as much of a troll for Btil as it is for Hit, though. Because Hit's already completed it.
Still, it's one of those. It's one of the locations you really don't like to see really far into a seed. That and the big key to Swamp or the small key to Tower of Hera. You really don't want to see them late in the seed because it just hangs on your mind.
Yeah, the other bad one they can still get is the Ice Palace big key.
Oh yeah. Hitsuyan now does find his small key for Swamp, which is great. Because without that small key, you're seeing exactly one chest in Swamp, and that's it.
Alright, well, we're gonna try something different, chat. We're trying a different push to talk key. But yeah, I mean, this race has been interesting. I still think Btil has a small advantage. That's the second time Hitsuyan's been dead rocked on that bridge.
The dead rocks are relentless this scene.
Just him, though. You say that, DeFerret, but the thing is, like, let's say Hit goes over here and say he decides to check the vanilla big key chest. Let's say he had that fourth key. Well, if that had Bombos or the big key to Ganon's Tower in it, now Hitsuyan probably has the advantage over Btil. I mean, depending on them way before Btil.
So now Hitsuyan is in Turtle Rock and he'll be able to fully clear it if he steals that small key right here. And the meanwhile, Btil is inside of Ice and will be performing the Ice Palace bomb jump. Hitsuyan's sprite is a penguin. Yes, a penguin. And just in case you don't know what Btil's sprite is, it's Mega Man X. It's a pretty cool sprite. It's very well detailed, like the gold armor for the red armor.
We have a lot of good sprites, though. I like a lot of the different ones that they've done. Again, if you haven't had the chance, go check them out on the Randomizer website.
So far, these guys are pretty much flying through these dungeons right now.
This is 1-0 on the bracket.
Btilcx finding this small key for Turtle Rock, he must not be happy to find this one. Because that small chest in Turtle Rock could still have something useful in it, such as bombos or a big key to Ganon's Tower. It would be unfortunate if it's there for both players since they did skip it.
Alright, hopefully I didn't miss too much this time. It looks like they're just double checking each other's dungeons.
Yep, pretty much. So that means Hitsuyan is about to find his boots and his first bottle. And the shovel, of course, which neither players have checked. I don't think Btilcx did check the shovel location yet.
Like I said, there's still a few options to actually get in this. It literally just depends on where the GT big key and the bombos is. And he has to find Hitsuyan has to find them before Btilcx does. Alright, Hitsuyan has the boots. And is going for a 3.5 heart at Trinax. Brave, brave man.
I mean, if you're careful on Trihex, it's not that a difficult fight, but it's gonna be challenging for sure.
Yeah, Btilcx has some excellent execution. That cold stare fight was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, he had a red potion too, I forgot. They did get a red potion off a laser bridge.
That is a pretty nasty surprise. Cold Stare having the half magic as a reward.
Oh, that's gonna make Hit so sad.
Yeah.
Because Hit almost had it.
Yeah, considering he had to turn back to farm some magic before going into Cold Stare, that's gonna hurt a bit getting that there. Just rando being rando.
So this seed's been very, very nice, but we're still 2 full items away from go mode. One could be in Ganon's Tower, but we're still missing one big item. And it looks like Hit's gonna go to Swamp. And Btilcx gonna go check Shovel.
I'm hyped for that shovel. I want to see something there.
Shovel Bombos. That's what Btil wants it to be. Btil wants the shovel to be Bombos.
I'm a bit sad though. He did miss an opportunity to show off a bit of a shovel dash. Oh well.
Wasn't a big 20, but it was a full heart container. I'm trying to think where else they can go.
Eastern would be pretty much a good place at this point.
I agree, they needed to complete Eastern a bit ago. Even if they weren't going into pod right away. And here goes Btil. Like, he's reading our minds. He's probably going to open up pod and then teleport and go into Eastern first. And it's the same thing I would do at this point. I mean, you still only have 1 to 2 pod keys. So you can't get very far into pod, but you do have bow as well now.
Yeah,
so the advantage he has to having bow is he doesn't have to open the first door with the key.
Yeah, exactly. So he saves a small key compared to Hitsu, who had to open it early on.
And that could be huge, depending on what's in there. But I expect him to open the door and then instantly mirror. And he's already prepping for it. Somebody's calling the Fat Fairy is going to have both the Bombos and GT Big Key.
Wow, that's no. No.
That's a
Bombos
nice
okay, but the GT key will be in Ganon's tower. That's my prediction. I mean, come on, this can't be that easy.
No, but GT Big Key is going to be in Thieves Town Big Chest.
Wow, that's evil, but probably accurate.
But you like it. Don't lie. There's always Green Pendant, but Green Pendant's less trolly than most of the other options. Plus, Green Pendant's really easy to get. Skull Woods is super easy to finish for them right now. I'm actually surprised neither one of them has finished Skull Woods, considering how early they got everything to finish it.
Yeah, and I'm surprised none one went there to actually check the pedestal at the same time, too. That's very good information to have early on.
Well, remember, they didn't get booked until a little later. It was in Meyer Shed.
That's true. There's still plenty of time for that.
How is Skull Woods out of logic, Scooby? I'm curious. Well, no, I'm not saying the lane that they should go right now, but I'm saying I'm surprised neither one of them cleared it while they had the chance earlier. Especially Btil, who when he got to Dark World on that side already had Fire Rod, and then got Mirror. I think he might have already had Book too. I don't remember what all he had at that point, but I know he had a bunch more items than Hit did at the same time. Yeah, Hit had an excuse. Hit didn't have Fire Rod at the time.
Yeah, Scooby, that is technically right, but highly unlikely just considering you don't need any small key per se just to beat Skull Woods. You could use them awfully and just get stuck, but that'd be a lot more on your fault than, let's say, other places where you could use small keys inappropriately.
I guess that's true, but I mean, even if you're looking at it right now, I mean, if they were to go over there, they just farm both the free keys. The free key out of the pot towards the end of the first or the second area, and then the Gibdo in the last room. I'm just saying it was completable early, and it was green pendant, so that's why I was surprised no one had done it. Bombos can be there. Yeah, Bombos can't be in GT or inside of Misery Mire. That's the only two locations that are locked from Bombos. Oh, the GT Big Key's in pod? Okay.
Ah.
So that's one
yay.
more item.
Yep, that's one step closer, and we're almost done with this seed already. Dang, that's a fast one.
Well, we're still missing Bombos, and it can still be anywhere except for in GT or in Mire. And he's going to keep checking pod. He's got 2 more keys. Did he find another key in pod? A vanilla key?
I don't think so.
Feels like he had to. He only had 2 keys coming in. And he just opened the upstairs door, so he had to find one over here in this bow lock section.
Well then, that's nice.
Yeah, but your only hope now, chat, is Pedestal has Bombos. Which is completely possible because all 3 dungeons are almost completable by logic. I mean, they're still missing a couple keys on pod, but I mean, they could find them, most of them in pod at this point. Okay, he had 3 keys coming in? Okay. Last time I looked at his tracker before he went in, did Eastern have one then? Okay, he found a pod key in Eastern Palace. That's what it was. Because before he went into Eastern, I know I saw he had 2.
Now, depending on if he knows how to hammer yump, he can save another key right here.
Yeah, that's a skill I learned for this tournament specifically. It's once you learn it, it's actually not that bad. It's just learning the setup for it takes a minute.
Yeah, I think it's similar to learning the Ice Palace bomb jump. You just need to correctly just find the right pixel, and then it gets pretty much easy every time.
Yeah, it's just a little more precise. And it's time constrained.
Yeah, it's time constrained. That's the hardest part, I think, of it.
Well, see, me, I like, he's going to do it from this side. I actually like going up to the, that's nowhere near right. I like going up to the room that leads down to the dark part and coming out of there and coming over and doing it from the top. It feels like it gives you a little more time. He got it first try, though. That was actually a quick setup by Btilcx. He barely used the freeze frames.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think, he used pause menu twice? That's actually quite impressive. Scooby with all the images on how to do jumps. Scooby just instantly posts a hammer jump picture.
In the meanwhile, Hitsuyan is back inside Ice Palace for his second go around. I think he's better equipped this time.
And Btilcx is gonna go do Btilcx is gonna go do Fat Fairy, which I agree with.
Yeah, it's not very time consuming and has a high chance of having something. Might as well do it.
I mean, you're looking for one item at this point. You're gonna have to check pretty much everything at this point anyways. Yeah, Btil has a heavy lead. Unless Bombos is somewhere super trolly that Hitsuyan goes to very quickly before, and Btil doesn't check until pretty much last. I don't think Btil can lose the advantage / lead he's got right now.
And Btil remembers that he did Aga, so he saves a few seconds by not going around.
I mean, worst case scenario for both players is that Bombos is in the Vanilla Big Key location in T-Rock. But even then, I think Btil will get there before Hitsuyan will.
Yeah, probably, just because of everything Hitsuyan needs to do.
And Fat Fairy has double compass. That is that might be the worst Fat Fairy I have seen.
Oh, definitely.
So, a lot of people in our chat I know are some of the racers that are in the tournament. I recognize a lot of names. Some of you are the speed gaming community. So, do you guys like Keysanity so far?
I, for one, do like the Keysanity. I find it's a bit more layered and a bit more puzzling on how you approach it. It gives a very puzzle vibe to the normal vanilla rando.
And for those who don't know, Keysanity is actually not hasn't been around for a long time. I started in this community about the same time Keysanity came into existence, and that's only been a few months. It's actually more fun to run than you think, and sometimes like you can just mess around and have fun with it. Like right now they're having a serious race, but if you're just casually playing it, you can just have fun with it. Don't worry too much about your time, just worry about playing it through. Zelga has the right idea. Hey, I said the tournament races are serious. The non-casual tournament races that are casual on the speed gaming community, those I tend to have a little more fun with and not worry about time. And finally, Btil does go kill Mothula, and is rewarded with a 5 arrow capacity upgrade and the green pendant. Ped can be Bombos, yes. Bombos can literally still be anywhere except for Meyer and GT. And we're gonna have our Ped check. Is the Ped Dream dead? We will know here in just a second.
Come on, Ped, don't disappoint.
Nope. It's the Riot Shield. Riot Shield is required, right?
It's in logic technically for the laser bridge in Turok, but nah.
Nah, they already have half magic too, so
Yeah.
they already have the logic for the laser bridge. Yep, rip. Well, Ped dead. So that's one less location. It can still be something bad like Helmasaur has it. Oh, and a heart container from the green pendant turn-in. So Skullwoods is a bust.
I think they're about. I think Btilcx is about to revisit the dungeons now. I think it's that point.
Yeah, he's going to Thieves Town. Where else can it be in the overworld? Have they checked everything? Is there anything they haven't checked, is the question in the overworld.
I'm not sure if Btilcx checked Bombos, but we know it's not on there.
No. He checked Bombos. It was a piece of heart.
Okay. Because I knew one of them did. I just didn't remember who.
Btilcx checked both tablets. Huh. I'm trying to think of where else it could be. Yeah, that is still an option, Witty Words. T-Rock Vanilla Big Key Chest. No, neither one. Both of them skipped it. And all 4 T-Rock keys were available to both runners. They checked Zora. They checked Purple Chest.
Well, Btilcx checked Purple Chest. Hitsuyan has not gotten yet.
Yeah, but we're just eliminating locations that Bombos can be.
Yeah, that's right.
So it can be... It can be at the end of pod, but... Well, it can't be at the end of pod logically either. So my thought is it's going to be in that big key vanilla chest for T-Rock at this point. It can't be Batcave yet either. They have no powder. No, Fat Fairy was double compass. They've already checked it. Oh, you're too high. Come on, hit. There he goes. Fuzzy, that does not work with logic though, as of right now. They haven't found enough pod keys. They need to find the other, what is it, 3 pod keys? In order for Helmasar to even be logically possible.
Yeah, because the key logic for Palace of Darkness is get everything and then go to... Oh!
Oh! When you leave the dungeon with Blind in tow. And guess what, chat? Btilcx in go mode. Well, I knew Thieves Town Big Chest was an option, but I didn't realize he had the small key. Because when I looked up, it only said 1 small key listed. Was the second small key inside the dungeon?
Well, there's only 1 small key required to full clear at Thieves Town.
I know, but you get one of that pot too in the way where you bring Blind. And when he was coming back down that hallway, I looked up and saw 1 key. That's why I didn't think he had it. Yeah, pod keys are more than likely inside of Ganon's tower, but Btilcx won't care. Btilcx's probably not going to open another chest this run. He has Temper Sword, Red Mail, Silvers, Boots. There's absolutely no reason for him. He has half magic. I don't see a reason for him to open another chest. He's going to go straight to Vitreous. And then he's going to go straight up the gauntlet. He probably won't even open the last chest.
Yep, completely agree with you. Yeah, I mean, normally you would open the last chest because that's the correct thing to do, but in Keysanity, it could be a map or a small key and waste a bit of time, so don't take the chance.
I mean, literally the only thing he could possibly get at this point is butter, and that's not even... I mean, that's a little bit of a time save on Ganon, but with his execution, I doubt it's going to save him more than a few seconds anyways. Like, his execution, like, if you watch right here what he's doing in Mire, he knows every single movement to make. And I'm pretty sure he's going to silver out Vitreous. Unless he decides to go with, I guess you can go Cape Sword Strats. Probably be pretty easy at this point too with half magic.
Yeah. Cape is one of my favorite items just because of Ganon alone.
It just depends on the runner. There's the Cape Dashing. He's just going in with sword spins though. Plus, there's the thing that you're going straight to GT after this. He might not want to waste a lot of arrows because he does need some for the Gauntlet Ascent. Especially if he's going to one cycle Land Molus and for Ganon himself. I just assume he was I'm just assuming he's trying to save a couple arrows. So Hitsuyan's actually not that far behind, but is missing the Desert Palace Big Key and Bombo still. And we know Bombos is in Thieves Town. Do we remember where Desert Palace Big Key was?
Was it not on under the bridge? A demand under the bridge?
Was it Hobo?
Maybe? I don't remember. I'm not sure.
Alright, chat. Where was the Desert Palace Big Key? I know you guys have a good memory. Okay, so somebody else said Hobo. 2 people said Hobo, so we'll go with Hobo. So he needs to go to Hobo and go to the big chest in Thieves Town.
And there we go. Btilcx activating the crystals cutscene and getting inside Ganon's tower. It's gonna be a pretty quick Ganon's tower because compared to any non-Keysanity variant, we're not trying to guess where the key is. We already have it. We're just going up the tower right now.
Yeah, there are a few times in Keysanity we get to play the key guessing game, but not very often. Usually GT Big Key is found before Ganon's tower is even approached.
Indeed.
He is okay. So Hitsuyan is doing the flippers section. So hopefully he goes and checks Hobo. If he goes and checks Hobo, he'll be okay. Go to 8. Oh, you can go from 4 side too. Come on, go right. Nope, he's going left.
Probably checking shovel.
Yeah, but he really needs to check Hobo. Like, that's his next big one, because that'll give him Desert Palace. But maybe it's better if, well, I don't know. The longer he goes, the more likely he is to forget that he hasn't checked Hobo. Hello chat, what is Keysanity? Keysanity is a version of the Link to the Past randomizer that takes every item, including dungeon items, and mixes them up and disperses them out in the world in a beatable order. There's a logic system behind the game that'll make it so that when it places the items, it places them in an order that you can complete all the dungeons that are required still to beat Ganon at the end.
It's a more puzzle-like version of Randomizer, where each time you find a key, you have to think a bit about it and say, okay, should I go do that now because I have this key, or should I wait later till I have more keys to go inside that place? So it makes for a very interesting mind game.
Yes. So example is if you've played regular open mode to do Aghanim's Tower, you need a Master Sword and the lamp, or Fighter Sword, lamp, and cape in order to do Aghanim's Tower. In Keysanity, while you still need those things, you also need both Castle Tower keys, because they are not in Castle Tower. At least not all the time. No problem, Swice Guy. We're always welcome to let you guys know what it's about. Yeah, so you're coming in, Swice Guy. Btilcx is already in go mode. He's in the last dungeon in the game. He's on his way to Ganon to fight the end boss. And Hitsuyan still searching for 2 more items for his go mode. The only time you can do Aghanim's Tower without the Fighter Sword is if you're playing the swordless mode specifically, because they'll pre-cut the curtain for you. Otherwise, you have to have a sword for Skullwoods and for Aghanim's Tower because of the curtains. Oh, Btilcx's been going fairly flawless up this gauntlet. He's had a very quick, very nice gauntlet.
Yeah, don't talk too fast. Here comes Troll Dorm.
Yeah, so Swice Guy and the swordless, because you cannot find a sword, they go ahead and open both the Skullwoods curtain and the Aghanim's curtain.
Yeah, swordless is a special mode. They take into account that there is no sword, so there's a few small changes to the game to make it beatable without a sword.
Such as hammering Ganon is a thing.
Ugh.
If you ever want to see Ganon get hammered to death, go watch Swordless. Ooh, that was a beautiful hit by Btilcx on Aghanim. I think that was a triple, wasn't it? That was a double. Yeah, it was a triple into a double into a single. That was a beautiful Aga too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Zelnus. You can hammer him normally, but who in their right mind would try that?
Yeah, that was almost a flawless Aga. He was really close to getting the triple-triple. So I'm your father's brother's nephew's cousin's roommate. What am I to you?
Ganon.
I was gonna say the pig that needs to die, but yeah, Ganon.
Btilcx is literally playing with fire right now.
Yeah, but he's flawlessly going through this. He's already almost to phase 4. One more hit and he's in phase 4. Oh, there it is. He's already setting up for the fast hit. Oh, no. Wait, why is he doing? He has silvers. Why is he doing silverless? What? What?
Is this what overconfidence looks like?
Okay, chat. We have no clue why he's doing silverless, but enjoy the silverless spinning slashes that's happening right now. Well, there's no way he can know he's in the lead, so this is really just a gamble right there to do that. Because if Hitsuyan's in the fight and almost at the same point he is, and has silvers, that is a big gamble to make. But anyways, Btilcx, congratulations. Well, he has went through the door. He is. Do you have the SRL time for chat?
Yep. He has an official SRL time of 2 hours and 20 seconds. So GG.
Also, if you would like to see if he would like to come in to chat with us. Yeah, we will ask why he decided to silverless with silvers. That's definitely a question that's going to get asked. That'll probably be the first question that gets asked.
Unfortunately, it looks like we will not be having an interview as Btilcx has to be somewhere. So we'll just give him some congratulations for going 2-0 right now and still look at what Hitsuyan checks to finish this race.
Yeah, well, congrats to Btilcx, and hopefully we'll be able to get Hitsuyan in here afterwards so we can at least get some type of interview for you guys.
That's right, it's going to remain a mystery forever as to why he did silverless with silvers. Unfortunately, he's already gone, so I could not ask him. He was pretty much busy already, it looks like. But it happens. Some people don't have a lot of time to coordinate these races, as a lot of people are across the world participating in these tournaments. We got a lot of people here in America, we got people in Europe, we got even some people from Japan, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely an international race, and I like that. Does make scheduling a little hard, though.
He finds the key and ethers the hobo. And quakes him, too.
If he had Bombos, he would Bombos him, too, but he doesn't know where Bombos is. Still his last item. Sadly, just like with how many looks does it take, we will never know why he did silverless with silvers.
Hey, maybe if we remember, maybe next race.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will catch him and somebody will ask him eventually, but as far as for today. Yeah, so Hitsuyan has to go to Thieves Town, Big Chest, and he's already beat Thieves Town, so this could be a minute. He has to make that conscious decision to go back into a cleared dungeon. But so he's running out of options.
Yeah, after this, he's already did most of the overworld stuff, and judging by yourself on the tracker screen here, you can see that he's done his fair share amount of exploring all over the place. There's not a lot more locations he can check, and I really hope he does Thieves Town before he goes back into Turtle Rock, even if Turtle Rock is a bit more on his way to Ganon's Tower.
We were called, I believe, I don't know, maybe Dynasty did call that earlier, but I know that we were originally calling the Turtle Rock Vanilla Big Key location, since both of them skipped it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we did call it, but we call so many things in a race that some things are bound to
Oh,
happen.
yeah, we were talking about things that are horrible to happen, like going. It was back when we were talking about going back into Hera, going back into Thieves Town, Ice Swamp. That's when we met. That's when we had talked about it. So we said
Yeah.
those 4 chests are bad because you'll do the dungeon and then you get the key and then it's in the back of your mind saying, oh, like, oh man, like, what if something's in that chest? So what's he going to now? He does know he can't get in yet, right? He's going back to desert? Oh, he hasn't checked the big key chest yet? We're just gonna see how long it takes him to realize that he has to go back into that dungeon. Or which dungeon he chooses to go back into first. Because he also got the last key to T-Rock as well.
Yeah. At this point, also Hitsuyan does know that his opponent did finish. It's one of the small things that you do have access while racing. You do have access to your IRC chat, so you know when your opponent is done. So there's a bit less pressure that way, so you're usually a bit less tilted for the rest of your race.
Oh, is he not turning green pendant yet?
I don't think he did.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where he's on his way to.
Yeah, Hitsuyan just wrote inside the IRC chat. It's either in Turtle Rock or Thieves Town, so he knows.
Yeah, so he's been keeping up with everything he's been checking, which is really good. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to keep tracking races like this because you go through so many locations and you do so many of these races that sometimes you just get lost. It happens.
Yeah, especially if you do a few randos straight after another one, you can confuse whether you've done this in this race or the last one. That's why usually when you do a tournament race, you don't want to race just before that. If you're that kind of person, at least that's how I am.
If you've missed any of the races, Kevio, a lot of the racers are still in the VODs for Twitch. You can go back and rewatch any race. They're also on YouTube on the Speed Gaming channel. They have all the daily races, all the Keysanity tournament races are probably going to go up on there. All the lap pass tourney races are up on there. So if you ever want to see more action and there's nothing going on Speed Gaming Twitch, you can just go back and watch the VODs. And Feasel with the VODs. Thank you, Feasel.
So for now, you have plenty of races to watch while the tournament is running, because with more than 200 people in the tournament, that means more than 100 races per week. So chances are you have something to watch.
Yeah, if you let's say you wanted to watch every Keysanity tournament race that's gonna happen during this race, and there he goes. Bombo swing the chest. I'm guessing it's gonna be Ether and Quaked as well. But if you like watching stuff like Keysanity, realize that it's about a 2 to 3 hour long race. He's saying 100 races a week. There's a minimum of 5 weeks of the 100 races. So you're looking at over 500 races, not including the top 8 races. So you can do the math on that. You could be watching Keysanity videos for a very long time. You can watch 500 races at 2 to 3 hours per race. I'm kind of impressed. If you didn't get to see a lot of the daily ones, though, I do recommend those. The daily ones, especially when they rotate in the special categories, were always nice and fun. So you can see different things like swordless, all dungeon clears, enemy randomizers, boss randomizers. You can see all the different things they're able to do with this game that makes it so impressive.
Speaking of which, we should plug in these players' details since he did win, and Hitsuyan for giving us a great race despite his decision through this. He did give us a great show and great stuff to commentate. So let's plug him in, and if you did like what you've seen today, give them a follow.
Yeah, these racers are putting on a good show for you. And then also, again, props to Hippo in the background who's been tracking both races. As you can see, Hippo's had to click a lot of buttons.
Oh yeah, the trackers in this Keysanity are working double time.
So they have buttons for every key, or for every key that the players can obtain. So he's having to do that for both players. Hey, button clicking is hard, Hippo. I know it is, especially with our input system. Click something, refresh, it doesn't take. Then you don't realize it until chat yells at you about it.
Or even worse, while the players go to different routes and find a bunch of items, and you happen to try to look at two screens at the same times, and it just doesn't work out.
Well, see, in 4-way races, the admins are nice enough to have 2 trackers, so it's still a tracker per 2 racers. And fast silver arrows here. He didn't quite get the first cycle before Victory shot out lightning, but it was still pretty fast. And now we get to see him go up GT and go through the gauntlet. I'm sure Hitsuyan's ready to be done with the seed.
Oh yeah, after almost 100%ing the seed, as is most Keysanity seeds, he's probably done at this point.
Well, so we're chat's sitting here discussing on whether Btilcx actually forgot they had silvers because he didn't use them for the Victorious fight either. I mean, it's possible. The way that silvers used to work is when you picked them up, you had to switch your bow to them. The newer version of the randomizer automatically does that for you. So if you're someone who ran a lot on the old versions, it might throw you off a little bit. Also, it could just be that Btilcx a really good NMG runner, and G runners usually do silverless. A 164 collection rate is actually pretty good. I was just looking over at Btilcx's screen.
Yeah, it was still under the average of my commentaries.
Yeah. So far from what I've seen, and this might scare chat with how much they've checked, average on a Keysanity seed tends to be in the 170 collections.
Yeah, especially when you need to find something in Ganon's Tower, it can up that number by quite a bit. I mean, there's what, like 27 items in Ganon's Tower? And if you're trying to look at the big key downstairs, you can have to up to 22 more locations. That's a lot.
The chat's having fun trying to think about why Btil didn't use silvers. I saw one comment about Btil possibly being a vampire. Oh yes, I did commentate that race. I was pretty sure I had done Hitsuyan's last race. Our commentators cursed him in a good way. So for those who weren't there for that, it was actually clipped. Hitsuyan was at Troll Dorm 2 with 2 arrows, and had no way to pick up any more arrows. And I had said, well, unless the validation chest, he checks it and has arrows in it. And he checked it and it had 10 arrows in it. It's one of those good reverse commentator curses. And yes, he had one of the lowest collection rates I think I've ever seen in any race. 131 is a ridiculously low number. Well, the sad part about this for me and Dynasty is we're almost done commentating for you guys for now. But we did get to see 2 good runners put up 2 pretty good times, pretty much average times on Keysanity. They both ran really well at the front. Hitsuyan got a little trolled, a couple little routing decisions he made differently that did not work out for him. But overall, still a very good run considering.
Completely agree with you. It's not easy going through these randos, especially Keysanity, where a tiny difference in routing can just put you back minutes. Like we've seen here, Hitsuyan not going up Death Mountain in the beginning to pick up his Titans, just pretty much decided most of his fate through this.
Yes, that is true. It seems like his decision to go pod prior to Catfish, and then go throughout the rest of Dark World instead of going up to Death Mountain is what. Because I would say before that split, the 2 racers were like 10 seconds within each other of doing the exact same thing.
Yep, that's right. The beginning was very close from one another.
They literally made the same decisions, the entire everything up to Dark World. You've never run a Keysanity run, Roach? Go try one. It's actually crazy fun. I mean, you don't have to sit down and do it all in one day. I would recommend, though, if you're going to do it, try to make enough time to do it in one day, because otherwise you're going to forget what you chat. Everybody's still talking about Hitsuyan may forget his arrows too.
That scared me for a second now. He almost timed that to get the despawn.
You'd be surprised, Roach. I've seen some of the better rando runners have some issues with Keysanity. It's not as easy as you think it is. There's actually easier ways than there's actually easier ways for you guys to learn different stuff. The best thing you guys can do is, you guys have seen probably the links. He's gonna try to hover. Oh no, decided against it. He played like he was gonna hover. I was about to get excited there. I didn't know he would know how. But no, the best way you guys can learn is if you've seen the link for it quite a few times. If you go to the actual ALTTP randomizer page, the one where you can make your own games, there's a help drop down to the right, top right of the page, with a resources section. That resources section has trackers, guides, links to videos, everything you could possibly need to start your way into learning. If you want to learn the base game first, as far as execution and speedrunning, Andy has got an awesome video on YouTube that's a no save quit tutorial. It is 7 hours long, but it does pinpoint the different time locations. I heavily recommend that one if you're going to want to learn how to do regular Link to the Past.
Yep, we got some pretty cool people in this community. Lots of help from lots of different people, images, trackers, you name it. Even some ROM hacks just to practice some stuff. Pretty awesome stuff. You go look at that.
Yeah, that's another good one. If you Google ALTTP hack, you'll find a ROM that will let you go to preset locations with preset equipment, and will also let you adjust the equipment to whatever you would like. So you can try low percentage fights, you can try fights with different weapons, pretty much just to make yourself better at certain things. You can practice hammer jump, whatever you would like to call it. You can practice the Ice Palace bomb jump. That was actually a very good Aghanim 1, or Aghanim 2.
Yeah, not quite as clean as Btilcx, but his was pretty amazing. I mean, it's not every day you see a three hits on the first round.
Yeah, what was his? 222?
I think so.
I mean, so same number of phases, just different, no triples.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, Kevio, definitely bless the practice tool. That practice tool is how I learned to hammer jump.
Same.
So we got Hitsuyan doing his Ganon fight. He is now in phase 2. With Cape and half magic, he should make quick work of phase 2. Yep, he is already in phase 3.
Making good use of that cape. It's probably my favorite use of all the game for that. Makes the phase 2 like impossibly easy.
I always forget I have Cape at this point. I just do the hookshot dodging. Did you find the silver arrows in the wide open chest at Chain Chomp Room in T-Rock? Well, yes, I did. I'm just saying, I don't think he hit them very well. Alright, so that's 3 arrows. And one more to seal it. And down goes Ganon.
And that's a GG.
So if you want to go ahead and get Hitsuyan's time.
And Hitsuyan is done in second place with an official time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 5 seconds. We will be having him shortly with us for a quick interview. Should be fun to see a player's insight about this seed.
It's time for another one. The next race, Gaming 2, between Serox and D2 Kemps. There is a quad race on Speed Gaming 1 at 6:30 Eastern Time, so in an hour. And then we've got races all through the night on different channels. If you haven't seen the schedule, just look at the schedule. There's a ton of races today.
Hey there, Hitsuyan.
Hello.
So, what did you think about this race? Pretty fun, no?
Nah, that was not so funny.
GG Hitsuyan, GG.
It was a hard one for what I've seen. It was pretty trolly on where the items were.
Yeah, the items was trolly. The mobs, NPCs, enemies.
Yeah, you've been clipped because of your dead rock troubles. Dead rocks on the bridge.
Yeah, Ice Palace trolling me again.
So what was kind of cool is that as the race began, you and Btilcx actually all the way through Aga 1 were on the exact same route. You guys visited every single place at pretty much exactly the same time.
Okay. I thought he was far ahead at this time.
No, as soon as Dark World, like as soon as you guys beat Aghanim, that's where he pulled ahead. You went to Pod, he went straight to Catfish, got the hook shot. He left and went to Dark Mountain instantly, or Death Mountain, and got both Titan's Mitts and Flute pretty much instantly. That's when he pulled so far ahead.
Yeah, my routing was very bad this seed. Every time the last spot was the item.
It wasn't bad. It was just unfortunate that, you know, the gambles that you took didn't pay off as well as the gambles he was taking. It's just he chose, you know, the correct splits.
Which is part of the rando, really. You can't always be right where you go, or it'd be just boring.
Yeah, these Keysanity seeds are never linear, so don't get yourself down too much. I think your routing was fine. I think you made right decisions the entire time. It was just they didn't pay off in the end.
Other than that, I think you and your opponent did fairly well all over the seed in terms of execution. There was cold stare was probably just the point where you had a bit of trouble, but other than that, I think you did well on execution too. Did your bomb jumps without too much troubles too. It was, considering it's a fairly difficult trick, especially the one in Palace of Darkness. That's pretty cool to see every time.
Yeah, I tried just this jump yesterday, but I don't get it every time. And cold stare was really bad.
He just sometimes you get that RNG where those clouds just want to hug you, and it just happened that the clouds hugged you a couple times too many. I mean, literally, all three eyeballs chased you around that room.
Unlucky.
Yeah, because there's. I know you've done fights where the eyeballs will. Maybe one will chase you, but not all three at the same time, like what was happening to you. Like, literally, all three were just lasering for you.
Yeah, it happens that you can't really do much with what you have. Is sometimes it just comes down to a bit of luck, and it seems your opponent had a bit more than you did. But definitely with Bombos inside of Thieves Town, it did troll both of you for a fairly long time.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Even Beta was looking all over the place for that one.
Oh yeah, I think both of you got down to where it was just the T-Rock and the Thieves Town location.
Yeah, and I skipped along the old man under the bridge. I don't know why. I was thinking in minute 10 about to get him with fake flippers, but I don't do it.
That one didn't hurt you that much. Like I said, if you go back and watch the race, it's really Btilcx just got a little bit ahead and just never lost momentum.
It was a pretty good race despite the what we can see in time difference. Just because it all came down to a few different gambles going up or down and going to one dungeon or another. So in the end, it could have been you at the same place that he did. So you're definitely not out of this tournament as far as I can see, because you're only 1-0 right now. 1-1 at this moment, so there's still a chance you can make it. So I really hope you do well in your future races in the coming weeks.
Thanks, I hope it too. Did Btilcx dip in T-Rock and get the boots on his first trip, or?
Yes, he did. He had one more key than you. He had the I think it was in pod. He had one more T-Rock key than you did. So he full cleared everything but the vanilla big key chest on his first run.
Okay.
So again, another little incremental advantage that he gained. And still, even considering those two incremental advantages, you guys were still within 20 minutes of each other.
But yeah, it was a very fun race for us to commentate just because of the route divergence. We were very hyped to see what was going inside the dungeons you were exploring. So thanks again for bringing us a good show.
Yeah, thanks again, you too, for commentating and all the other stuff.
No problem. So as we wind down on this this specific race, any final comments you would like to say, Hitsuyan?
Yeah, good luck for your race tomorrow.
Thank you. I'm not. I'm trying not to think about it.
I'm watching you.
Well, chat. I'm Ibby Karma, co-commentating with Dynasty. We had Hippo on tracking, Hitsuyan and Btilcx Racing. Please give the people a follow. We also had the background crew that works behind the scenes. For this restream race, it was Mythical. And a lot of times you'll see Fiesel's name pop up. Make sure to give them likes, follows, congratulations, thank yous for helping prep this tournament. And then we'll see you later on and next time.
See you guys and have a good one.